Right there.
Right where?
And we're live.
We're live. Hey, hello there, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
hello
thanks
there,
for tuning in.
ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready to rock? You know who that is? That's Cheap Trick. I love Cheap Trick. One of
We
my
all
favorite
love
bands
Cheap
of all
Trick.
time when I was a young little lad.
Episode. What is this, number
introduced me
7?
to Cheap Trick. This is the Chris and Mike Show. It's episode number whatever. I don't really know. I don't keep track. That's your job, Mike.
I think it's episode
I'm
7.
just the guy in a tuxedo.
Yes, it's episode
I'm just
7.
a guy in a tuxedo. Episode 7, the lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7.
So, are you a Seinfeld fan?
Oh, man. Like, obsessively so.
Yeah?
Obsessively
Okay,
so.
so you remember the episode 7? 7. George wanted to name his kid 7, and then the other people fucking stole his thunder, man.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck?
It was horrible.
Edit details. So we have a Facebook page out, ladies and gentlemen. Facebook.com/Chris and Mike Show. The Chris and Mike Show. So we broadcast to the United States of America. That's
And apparently the world.
City, the United States of America. Right. So I did solve the Japanese viewership, listenership question. That was my 22-year-old Marine. Hoorah.
Shout out to Jake. Thank you.
He listened to it.
Awesome.
And in true fashion of a 22-year-old, he's like, yeah, I listened to it. I'm like, what'd you think? Yeah, it was cool. All right.
We
cool,
appreciate you giving us a heads
He's
up.
coming home tomorrow. Right. He's coming home tomorrow, so we're going to just go ahead and throw him on the show.
That's awesome. We would love to have Jake on the show.
I thought so. He doesn't know that
Absolutely.
yet. He does not know that yet, but
Well, tell him I think it's awesome.
Singer and guitar player.
United States Marine.
I will.
Live on
So
the podcast.
what I'm doing right now in our United States Marine. Hoorah. So what I'm doing right now, for all you listeners that just whacked myself in the face with my microphone, I am filling out the stuff, the nuts and bolts, the things that people want tangibles on our Facebook page, which is now has 4 likes and 5 followers.
Awesome.
So the company's rock and roll. The position is lead singer and guitar player, because right now you're below my screen. You're not on my screen. You're below it. I'll take a picture so you can see what I'm talking about.
I'm trying to get the thumbs up to come
please.
up, and it's not
One moment.
cooperating.
Well, go this way. Okay, so I'm taking a picture behind the scenes, and then I'm going to post it. Guess where I'm going to post it, Mike?
All right.
On the Facebook page. You know why?
Because you can't.
Say why.
Why?
No, you were supposed to say why.
I did say why.
Let's try it again. I'm going to post it on the Facebook page, Mike.
Why?
Because we have a Facebook page now. It's the Chris
That's
and Mike
awesome.
Show. Well, because you've been riding me forever to fucking create a Facebook page, so here it is.
Well, we need
And
a
I
place
had to
where
step out of the
everyone
box
can
and-
gather together,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
My friends
So
have been gathering
I had
on
to
my
step out of the
page,
box and go to.
and your friends
Chris
have been
and Mike
gathering
Show.
on your page, and now they can all commingle at the Chris and Mike Show on Facebook.com.
Commingling. So
I
there it
couldn't
is.
think of a
Now
better
I
term.
am on the Chris and Mike Show. I'm on the Chris and Mike Show on my phone now.
Awesome.
So I'm going to. Ooh, what the fuck was that? Where's my settings? Let's go to settings, shall we, Clarice?
You always got to go to settings.
I'm
Or
in an
reboot.
odd mood today, Mike. I'm just letting you know.
That's all right.
I'm in an odd mood.
We've had many of these conversations.
Where, there it is. Setting dark mode. You know why? Because you have to be in dark mode.
I'm always.
I'll
in
tell you
dark
why you
mode,
got to be in
yes.
dark mode.
It's easier on the eyes.
Because it looks so much better in dark mode. Like they
It
should
does.
just get rid of the white mode and
Yes,
make
dark-
it the dark mode.
Dark mode should be the standard. Absolutely. It does
Dark
look awesome.
mode. Dark mode. So here, whoops. Okay, I got it. Public. We're going public. So behind the scenes, our first behind the scenes picture, photo. Behind the scenes photo. So I don't want to call to action button. Stupid thing. City, town. it's not going to give us what's let's call it Pontiac, Michigan. Oh no, you don't live in Michigan. You live in Illinois. I do that all the time.
I'd rather be based out of
Just a
somewhere
couple
where
of
it's
guys.
warm.
Yeah, but roots, man, roots. Increase your reach. I don't want to boost that, not now.
I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you to find the Easter egg. Sorry.
The Easter egg.
I'm waiting for you to find the Easter egg.
Oh, guitar guy. Guitar guy. I see
okay,
that. GTRGUI.
That's one. There's another big one that you haven't commented on yet, and someday you will.
Is it well, you're kind of blurry now, because of the stuff. Is it the eagle shirt? The eagle?
No. I'll know when you went.
Don't tell me.
Okay.
Okay.
I will give a shout out to my buddy Keith, because I told him about my internet woes. And after I got it fixed, he said, I'll be curious to hear if that delay clears up or not. So to let Keith know, it actually cleared up quite a bit. So it makes it a lot easier to converse when he doesn't have to wait 6 seconds to hear what I say.
Yes, it does, because that was actually right when you said it, it ended. And there was
That's
no delay.
awesome.
So we played with bands, Marshall Tucker Band, Tony McAlpine. Who else?
Well, I put that list.
That's enough.
Hold on a second.
Okay, because I'm filling out our description,
Every time I get asked this question, I totally draw a blank. I was with two friends of mine on a road trip, and the guy's wife asked me, so what big bands did you open up for? And I said, the Marshall Tucker Band, because that was the first band we opened up for. And that was it. I was like, go to the Spotify page, because I wrote a nice little bio there. So
I got Marshall Tucker Band, Tony McAlpine, Enough's Enough, Sacred Reich, Seven Dust. That just blows my mind. We played with Seven Dust, the shit that I don't remember, man.
At the Big Fish Pub in Tempe, Arizona.
Yeah.
Before anybody even knew who they were, they had one song that KUPD was playing in rotation because they knew somebody that worked at KUPD, and they knew the guy that owned the Big Fish Pub, so that's how they got the gig there. And they were way too good for that small a place.
Yeah, we kicked their ass.
I'm sure we
stole the show.
I'm sure we did.
We always stole the show.
I will admit, we always stole the show. More. And anybody that knows me knows I don't brag much, so we did go up there to kick ass and take no prisoners. So I thought that was the objective.
Right. I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick some ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum, man. Roddy Piper.
Absolutely.
So I did some details. Right? Yeah. I don't do hours price. We don't have a price range. We're cheap.
Yeah. We're not going to charge for
this. Diversity info. What diversity info?
We would, however, like categories. To qualify for advertisement. So the more clicks and likes and shares, I'm
gonna figure that part of it out for sure. Price range is, we'll say moderate. We don't want to sell ourselves short.
Our Austria listener has not come out of the woodwork yet. They must be shy, or maybe they're sharing with their friends. And to that, I say kudos. But if you're the one person that's listening to all these shows and you would like to come on and tell us how you found us and how you have reacted to the show, positive, negative, whatever, we'd love to have you on. I'd just drop a comment on the actual Spotify with your Facebook something. Go to our Facebook page, leave us a message how to get a hold of you.
Our Facebook page, which is
the Chris and Mike Show.
Chris and Mike Show on Facebook. Don't you know? So, Michael J. Michaels, I stumbled
Okay.
upon YouTube the other day. Oh, happy anniversary, Lucy. Oh, they would have celebrated 37th anniversary. Oh, I think he died or something. Yeah, rest in peace. Oh, wait, maybe not. I don't know. Lucy's cool. Lucy's a friend that I met from. This is from Tom, my lender. He wants me to connect with this guy. Tom, I'm currently doing a podcast. I cannot connect with anybody at the moment.
But hi, Tom.
See, Tom?
Shout out.
I just told that to Tom right there.
Hopefully, Tom will become a listener.
Tom should be a listener, you know. If he's not, what the bleep?
You're missing out, man.
Bleep. They are missing out. Where's the picture I posted on our page, man? I posted a behind the scenes photo. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Did I post it on my regular page? Because that would be stupid. Nope, it's not there. Where is it? Where is it?
You're definitely more Facebook savvy.
So anyway, I was on the YouTube.
Okay.
And Brian the Head. Who is he from? Is that from Tool? Brian Head.
What was the last name again?
Drummer, whatever. Just Brian Head. He goes by Brian Head. Is that Tool?
No, he's Korn, guitar player, I believe.
Korn.
Yes.
Okay, so
didn't you go see them in concert with us?
Probably.
Yeah, they opened up for Metallica.
Oh, let's see.
I thought you and Nikki went to that show with us.
Maybe. What are you doing? I don't want to create an event, man. Why does it want me to create an event? Stay on page. I don't want to create an event. I just wanted to put the picture up. Leave page. Just fucking Facebook sometimes, man. Just let me post the picture. Why do you have to be so difficult? So,
ladies and gentlemen,
yeah,
you are not the only people out there that have trouble with Facebook. Even a trained professional.
Well, it's
frustrated.
Right. Trained professional. I went to Facebook school.
Well, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are like,
no
well,
school.
At least I'm not the only one that has problems getting shit on Facebook because I'm one of them myself.
Oh. That's what it was. So Brian Head Welch.
Okay.
He found Christ, right?
Yes, I remember the story.
He found the Jesus, the baby, the baby. Oh, can you hear that?
What?
Could you? I could hear it in my headphones. You couldn't hear it, could you?
No, we tried that last week. Okay, it doesn't work.
Right. So on YouTube,
okay,
if you go to YouTube and type in holy name, or just type in Brian Head Welch, but it's pretty cool. It's holy name -- fall on your knees. I think his new band's name is Holy Name, and the song is called Fall on Your Knees. It's pretty cool, man. Like I'm like, you know, I like the vibe of it. Like I can hear it right now, but you can't hear it. And I know enough about my voice not to be super loud, even though I could be really loud because, you know, I'm listening to the song and it's like rocking, man. But it's, oh yeah.
That's a guy who's been in the studio a lot, ladies and gentlemen.
You have to go. So all of you listeners, go to YouTube and type in Brian Head Welch or just the name Holy Name, because I believe that's his new band. But I dig it. It's kind of it's a cool little.
I will check it out.
Vibe with it. It's a cool vibe for sure.
I didn't know he had a new band. I thought he was back with Korn.
I didn't either, man. It suggested it to me. I went on there for something. I found this band. Nikki and I went to Vegas for her birthday.
Yes, so happy birthday.
YouTube has this thing where they suggest stuff. So the other band that they suggested to me, which I've been listening to today, what was it? Not Broken Wings. The way I found it, ironically enough, the way I found this band, which is just a trip down the rabbit hole. I was looking for Alter Bridge. One of my favorite songs from Alter Bridge is "The End Is Near,"
Okay.
or "The End Is Here." Well, really, Broken View podcast. I went to Broken View band, man. That was fucking weird. So there's this part in that song, "The End Is Here," that Tremonti hits this harmonic on his guitar. It's on the recorded studio version. It's like 4 minutes 26 seconds on. It's the fucking coolest thing, man. Like I like this.
The
White
harmonic
Flanges.
lasts that long?
Fuck yeah. Oh, no. That's the point in the song where he hits it.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow, that would be like King
Yeah.
Nothing from Metallica. That's a long harmonic hold.
Right. No, it's when he hits it. So the band that I found in looking for that is a band called The Broken View, which is like they're a rock band, really, really good. Like so amazed that I've never heard of them. It's just fumbling on Facebook, or not Facebook, on YouTube, and finding it. It's their deluxe version of the album I got was called On the Mend, and the band's called The Broken View, and it was released in 2022. I've been listening to it all day. There's not a bad song on there, and you know me, like
I'll check them out, man. I'm always looking for new music.
I get in. My thing is the lyrics, and the songs and the substance, and that just I was like, holy shit, that's fucking right on, man. They are for sure, lighten up. So you're probably wondering why I'm so bright in here today, aren't you, Mike? You're thinking, wow, Chris is so bright in here today. Squirrel. So here's another little. We're gonna do another little just candid. So here's half of this studio, because we're doing this in two separate places. One's in Arizona.
Yes.
One is in Pontiac, Illinois. There's one.
Yes. The middle of a
There's
cornfield.
one screen, or there's the other thing. The middle of the cornfield, children of the corn. And I'm totally breaking the faux pas of all performers by turning my back to the camera.
Your microphone is on your chair, brother.
I felt it. I felt the microphone on my chair, Mike.
It was
Good looking out, man.
I got your back, buddy. Literally. Because it was on your back.
You got my back. I remember when I used to come up to you on stage, and your back was to me, and then I would fall backwards and lean into you. You never let me fall.
No, never.
Like ever. We just ended up going back to back with the lean, and I'd be singing and you'd be jamming on the guitar.
You don't let a brother fall down,
you never
man.
let me fall. Thank you for that.
Well,
thank you for that. I appreciate that.
We were literally brothers, man. We might not have been blood, but we were definitely brothers.
I agree with that.
On a level that's just
fucking Facebook
inexplainable to most people,
Different.
It takes a certain kind of attitude to want to get up there and play in front of people to begin with. So everybody has to be on the same wavelength. I just read, actually, speaking of that,
our first story. This in two separate places. One's in Arizona. One is in Pontiac, Illinois. What's that?
You're playing through the.
Where'd you go? There's the other thing.
You're playing through the headphones.
I was playing this through that.
Yes.
Weird. People are going to be like, what the fuck was this show about, man? Chris was all over the place. I didn't take my medicine today.
I'm sure it will be humorous. People like humor,
Weird, wild stuff.
We got to provide humor for the general public.
Like
they're going crazy out there.
We have
daily grind,
Daily grind. Living in the metal coffins going down the freeway. Let's hear it for the dead presidents, ladies and gentlemen, who they robbed banks in Southern California for many, many years until he jumped out of an airplane, and some of them died. Roach was shaking and losing his vision, and that's when Johnny told him, "You're losing all your blood, Roach. You're going to be dead soon." Name the movie.
Ooh.
Actually, I messed that line up. That's because all the blood is rushing from your body, Roach. You're going to be dead soon.
You got me, man. I should know.
Really? Johnny Utah.
Oh. Maybe you really got me.
Point Break, man.
Oh, yeah.
Point Break.
I was like, Johnny Utah.
Johnny
Why does
Utah.
that name
He's in the
sound familiar?
plane after Brody jumps out.
100%. I'm
right.
with you now. I was thinking
100%,
I was thinking you were saying the name of the movie was Johnny Utah.
Nope. We are now up to 13 followers.
Wow.
4 likes. Only 4 likes with 13 followers. We need to get those other followers to like us.
What is the difference? I don't understand.
Like us more. A follower is you're following us. Like I invited people to come follow us, and they're now following us. So they clicked on it. So when something populates, when we do something clever or not so clever, it will populate to the world, and people will see that. We got to disparage this. People will see that something new popped up. So, Squirrel, one of my friends and legit friend on the Facebook land. This is bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so stop buying into this nonsense. Hello, it's official. Signed at 12:53. It even came on TV. Don't forget the new Facebook rule starts tomorrow. AKA new name Meta. Hello, boys and girls. Facebook's been named Meta for like over a year now.
Long time.
They're going to use your photos. You think you post something, it's public. If you don't want your photos shared and copied and downloaded and screenshot,
put them on the internet.
Don't share them. Right.
Bingo.
This person's not giving Facebook, not giving Facebook any permission, blah, 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 blah. So let me explain to you, boys and girls that don't know. If you're Meta verified, you have less chances of being hacked. Okay, so my main page is Meta verified. My Instagram page is Meta verified. Why? Because I don't want to get hacked anymore. Because once you're Meta verified, you have this little, that's YouTube. I'm sorry. I was going to my main page. Once you get Meta verified, which is like $12 a month, but it's worth it because you can't get hacked. You have this little blue dot next to your name. So the only way Facebook will charge you anything at all, the only way is if you Meta verify. If you don't Meta verify, it's free.
Correct.
So you choose to be verified, so you're less likely to be hacked because they have your driver's license, they have your face, they completely lock in and make sure that it's you and you alone that's on your page. When they try to get hacked, they thwart it. That's the benefit of being verified. Now, if you're not verified, it's fair game. And the reason why I know this is Instagram a few years ago got hacked. And in doing so, I was able to save my personal Instagram because I had my mug on it. And so I did the facial recognition and I was cool. The catch is I had caricatures, kind of like our logo on the Chris and Mike show on Facebook.
Love it.
And my caricature of Dean and I on the Good News Arizona account couldn't be recognized as real. So therefore I've lost control of the Good News Arizona on Instagram and unfortunately never been able to get it back. So kids, you don't want to get fucked with, verify. You want to get fucked with, don't verify. That's been a public service announcement by yours friends truly, Chris Dunham from the Chris and Mike show, aka Mike's down there, I'm up here, and all rights reserved, blah 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 blah.
That might be our first public service announcement / advertisement.
Our first plug. Our first
shameless plug. It's a shameless plug.
It's a shameless plug.
Nobody's given us a nickel yet. We've laid out hundreds of dollars.
Hundreds of dollars. So my buddy Todd, you remember Todd, Big Todd Smith? We talked about him.
That came to the shows.
He used to come. Yeah, Nemesis. So he's in the hospital. He had a hernia removed. So he just texted me. He's not getting discharged now. An hour and a half ago, he laid down to sleep and had a sudden onset of chest tightness and shortness of breath.
Oh, no.
He's breaking a squeaking sound. Whew. He called the nurse.
Good move.
She came with 3 nurses and a doctor. His oxygen stats dropped.
Oh, no.
Waiting for lab results to determine what's up. They're keeping him in his room, give him IV, and, it freaked out. So I said a bad word, but I won't. I said a bad phrase, but I'm not going to say it on It's a little extreme. I'll show you right there. That's what I said to him in my text back.
I can't see that far because I don't have my glasses on.
Yeah, well, it's okay. It's the thought that counts. So anyway, want to have a big shout out for my buddy Todd and everybody. Have a little baby Jesus love prayer. Just because I've known him since I was 15, so it's kind of like one of those lifelong friends.
I always say that I'm sending good energy
That
out into the universe, and
good
I
energy.
hope it gets
Yeah,
to them.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Yeah.
Positive vibes.
Private vibes, man. Absolutely. Positive vibes. Positive vibes. I said private, but positive vibes. Absolutely.
Private positive vibes to Todd.
So, to Todd, a.k.a. Jake Blues, the Blues Brothers, because I had a blue car in high school, and I used to pick him up, and he was this big offensive lineman, and I'm just,
He's a big dude.
I don't know, maybe 5'10", 130 pounds, soaking wet. So that was the yin and yang of Jake and Elwood Blues from Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
So there you go. That's how it all started. My first actual live performance ever, aside from fourth grade, being in I don't know what the fuck the show was called, but I would play a guy named John Smith. But after that, because you don't remember when you're in fourth grade. But Todd and I did mock rock. Spring break, senior year, we did.
That's awesome.
Everybody Needs Somebody to Love, the Blues Brothers. He has it too on VCR video. I can still remember. No, that was Cheap Trick. We're so glad to see so many of you lovely people here tonight. We especially like to welcome all the representatives of Illinois law enforcement community who have chosen to join us here in the Hotel Palace Ballroom at this time. We do sincerely hope you all enjoyed the show, and please remember, people, no matter what you do to live, strive, and survive, there are still some things that make us all the same. You, me, them, everybody. Everybody home needs somebody home. Everybody home needs somebody love. Someone to love. Someone to love. Someone to kiss. Someone to kiss. It's just that kind of thing, man.
That was awesome, dude.
Thank you. I try. Just gave you a shout out.
I can't figure out how you can remember all those lyrics probably the same way that people ask me how I can remember all the music that I know. I don't know. It just happens.
Yeah, because I remember learning that in Mr. Plummer's biology class where I was his teacher's assistant. And so I didn't do shit. And, Mr. Plummer's a friend on Facebook, so we'll get him to follow us. But I legit was in my little back room, and I was reading the lyrics and melody in my head and kind of singing under my breath, and then sure shit, we went out there and rocked it out, man. Rocked it out.
So I guess that's a good segue to a question that I got. What made you want to be a performer or / be in a band, or did you want to do one more than the other? Did you want to be an actor, a stage actor, a singer in a rock band? What was your actual first dream?
I'm going to say that I as far back as I can remember, I wanted to be a writer.
And you accomplished
so
that.
When I went to college, when I went to college and was in journalism, I won an award, and I'm like, oh, I got a scholarship or an internship, not a scholarship. And then I worked at the Mesa Tribune and realized, well, this working my ass off for $20 sucks. So, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be a writer anymore. I'm going to do the next best thing, right? The next high earning, grossing income that you can do is acting, because nobody wants to be an actor,
No. Horrible profession.
So, yeah, right. So I took that leap, that direction. And then somewhere along the lines, I realized that acting and writing all can kind of come together with music. Not that I was faking anything ever on stage, but it's the concept that if, regardless of the day you're having, at least with me, regardless of the day I was having, the mood, whatever, good day, bad day, shit day, horrible day, wonderful day, as soon as I stepped into the venue wherever we were going to play, the mood just switched. It was like a light switch. It was automatic, and then the reason why I've never really been heavy into covers is because I can't own those words. I can't own the emotion that was created from writing those songs, right?
I agree with you 100%.
So even though I love
from a musician standpoint,
lots and lots, right? Yeah, and that's the thing. So even from like Vision, we've talked about Vision a couple of times, and the story behind Vision was I kept having these recurring dreams in my early 20s that were scenes of death, for lack of better explanation. So I would see myself die. One was, I don't remember the order of it anymore. I got to find the box with all the lyrics in it from Nemesis days. But so one dream in the song Vision was I was sitting in a pool, like outside, like nothing. There's nothing on the horizon. You're in this massive open field, and there's a rectangular swimming pool. And I'm sitting on the pool deck in a chair. And as I look down at the pool, this body just starts approaching, face down the steps. So I get off my chair and walk down and roll the body over and realize, holy shit, that's me. Wake up. So back then I was heavily into lucid dreaming. A friend of mine, Eddie Insignius, he was a guitarist I had in Disturbed. No, bass player in Disturbed. He's gone off to do, he's a really cool guy. He does all these weird, fun things he's an extra in movies. He's been in all the Zombie Lands and Walking Death films or shows and stuff as an extra. But so he given me this book about lucid dreaming for my birthday one year. So that kind of opened up that part of my mind. Like, this is really cool. Like, you can go into your dreams and control them and manipulate them and kind of navigate your way in and out. And kind of alter them. And people have done this for years.
Absolutely. That's
so,
awesome.
Right. So the Vision started with again, I don't know the order, but there was a swimming pool. There's another one where, I was walking down like a city street or something. And I turned my face and looked into this dark alley. And there's someone just being pummeled in the alley. So I ran into the alley and it was me, basically being beaten to death. So, whoa, woke up, So then I would continue to tell myself when I'd go to sleep at night, okay, dream this part and then dream that part and then dream that part, to where I eventually there was 4 or 5 parts of this dream, chronological, analogy, whatever the fuck I'm trying to find what word it is. The last segment in it was, I was walking, chronological. Last segment of this dream, when I finally kind of became at peace with it, I was walking. I would walk past the death. Like when I rolled the guy over in the pool, instead of waking up, I turned around and walked away. And as I walked away, I kind of faded out from the swimming pool thing to the next dream sequence, and then to the next dream sequence, to the final last dream sequence, as I was walking past just like an endless row of newspaper stands, and as I left down at them, all the dates were the same: March 4th, 2000, which was my 30th birthday. So that was the whole premise. Like, I'm going to die when I'm 30. So I had that mindset from the time I was early 20s. So I was going to do everything that I wanted to do up until that point in my life, because, I had all these dreams that said I was going to die. So that's kind of how being in a band took the things that I loved writing and acting and put them together, because I could still write, I could still somewhat act, because when I wrote the lyrics to the songs like Vision, I felt that as I sang it every night, regardless if it was the first time or 1,000th time I sang it. Absolutely. I felt it. I felt the emotion. I felt the connection to it.
We all did.
So, one of the reasons I love, right. Well, thank you. So one of the reasons I love Jeff Tate in the, Queensryche before he turned into an asshole, was he owned like Operation Mindcrime, he played that role. He played Mickey, and it was obvious he was into it, and he was transparent, and he was just like spot on with the character that he wrote an entire album around of. So it, to me, enabled me to use the entire creative side of my brain in an hour, an hour and a half, however long we used to play, varying shows. But I could do that, and I could expel that energy. And so the darkness that was in me was purged, so I didn't damage my psyche over the years like a lot of people do when they don't have an outlet. So
Right.
the short version of the long-winded answer.
No, that's why we're here. We got all the time in the world, buddy. This is our show.
Yeah. Is the writer of me. I always loved writing, and I still do. And then the acting, I always loved acting. Like when I was a kid, I was sick all the time, so I was always home alone. And I can remember pretending I'm a cowboy, riding the side of a chair.
We had that in common, and we've had these conversations.
The black and white movie. Yeah. So it's just that thing. It's like I think that's why I transitioned so well into real estate, because there's still that element of marketing and being in front of cameras with videos that I do, and being in front of people and talking, and it's never just boring, and it's never the same.
Right.
Which is, cool.
And it's really not that much different than being a front man, where you had to engage with the audience, and they were engaged with you, or you were the one that was going to train wreck the show, because if you couldn't command those people and grab their attention one way or another, the three of us weren't going to do it, because that wasn't our gig, right? So I wouldn't have transitioned well into dealing with the general public, because, I wasn't used to talking. I think I make the joke all the time when they asked how many microphones we needed. All you guys would be like, 2. What if I want to say something, man?
Yep.
Mike's not saying.
Yep. Yeah. No, but that's So you never did sing. It was me and Rick that sang, right?
I did Cat Scratch Fever to give you a break once in a while. That was the only song.
That's right. That's right. I remember that. Yep.
Yeah. So before I forget, I've looked at that photo before we got the awesome new logo, which is totally awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That might be the very first show we ever played at the Mason Jar, because looking in the background, that was my PV amplifier that I had in the trunk of my car when I drove 1,800 miles from my parents' driveway to Metro Village Apartments. And I didn't play
which photo?
The one of you and I on stage at the Jar. I think that's the very first time we played at the Jar.
Oh.
That T-shirt I'm wearing was from a band out of Chicago called Laceration. And I still owe the dude $12 for that shirt, and I apologize.
Yeah. So put that up on the page on the Chris and Mike show. Just post it like anything. Yeah, because anything we kind of talk about, we have a platform now to post that stuff, and you know,
and I will take advantage of that.
That's what it is. That's what it is,
And that's the Chris and Mike show on Facebook.
I didn't win. On Facebook.
Yes. Please follow us. That's what they need to do, right? They need to follow us. Not just like.
Follow us. Yeah. Become our friends. Well, you can like and follow us. You can do both. We want to be liked. We want to be followed.
I enjoy being liked and followed. Just don't follow me home if you could help it.
Yeah. Yeah, and not on a stalker level, Don't do that.
You can follow me home. I know you, but not just the general public.
Right.
You and I will sit down and just have another conversation. I can't just do that with anybody.
Yeah.
And
you can't.
Another general question that has been, I'll back to the picture.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So anyway, I didn't play too many gigs with that picture, but your mic stand is in that same picture. You'll probably have to lighten it up you'll
Oh,
see
right
it
on.
right away. But if somebody will
Okay.
save the photo to their desktop or whatever, I don't care. I'm not one of those freaks that says don't
Yeah.
use our stuff. Pull it down to your desktop and lighten it up,
Right.
and you'll see what that mic stand that we talked about in an earlier
Okay.
podcast looks like. I noticed both
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah.
It just caught my attention
Right
the
on.
other day. I love that
Yeah,
PV
I don't
amp.
remember seeing that. You have to send it to me again.
You don't
Oh,
have
yeah,
it?
I remember that. Yeah.
I'll send it to you.
I don't know if I have it or not.
Hold on, ladies
Yeah,
and
send it
gentlemen.
to
I'm
me.
going to text
Or
you
hell,
real quick.
Yeah. Or put it on the page. Are you on your phone? You can put it on the Facebook page.
Okay.
You can put it on the Chris and Mike show.
I'll do that right now.
You're posting on it just like a regular page. You just throw it out there as a picture.
So this would be probably 1994 or 5, I'm guessing. Probably 5.
Okay.
Because we played a bunch of gigs before we played at the Jar. That was the elite place to play.
I liked playing. Yeah. Oh yeah. I loved playing at the Mason Jar, man. We talked about this before. The photos on the wall, like Franco had every single band that ever played there. Pictures on the wall. I don't know if our picture was ever on the wall. I don't know if there was space by then. But it was cool to
we
walk
were up
around
there.
and realize, holy shit, I'm standing. Well, Eddie. Yeah. Okay. Good. I was like, holy shit, I'm standing where Eddie Vedder stood and where Brett Michaels stood and where Scott Stapp stood and
Maynard from Tool.
Just
Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, right.
Stone Temple Pilots, Flotsam and Jetsam,
Jason
Sacred
Newsted.
Reich.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Jason
Just
Newsted played tons of
unbelievable
shows
amount
there.
of yeah.
Newsted was
it was
Jason Rainey's
mind-boggling.
roommate before Jason Rainey was there
right
when
on.
Newsted got the call to be in Metallica. He told Scott and I think he told all of us that story that
Right on.
night.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was totally
Right
cool.
on.
He's like, yeah, I was sitting there.
That's cool.
He was on the couch. The phone rang. He said, hey, man, you got the gig.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah,
Did
there
you
was
post it on the Facebook page on the Chris and Mike?
I do believe I did.
Did you drop it on the Chris and Mike? Okay, I don't see it.
Let me check.
I don't see it for some reason. Chris Dunham likes our first story. Not me, Chris Dunham. I went online one day and found all the Chris Dunhams I could find and sent friend requests to them. So I have all these Chris Dunham. I have these friends named Chris Dunham, which is awesome because when they post something, I'll be like, hey, me, what's going on? Wedding anniversary shit. Oh, yeah, our marriage has been great. No complaints from me. And every now and then the wives will be like, wait, what? What? It's funny. And then I'll have people tag the wrong Chris Dunham because, the wrong Chris Dunham.
I shared it to my own page.
And they tag me. It's kind of funny.
So now how do I share it on our page?
You go to the page, right? And you have where it says what's on your mind, live video, photo, video, or reel. And you're just going to click photo and add photo. And then just, say circa 1994 at the Mason Jar. I think that would be cool. So what's weird on today's show is I don't see a clock. Usually there's a clock.
Oh, you don't have one today?
It's uploading and recording. I don't have a clock today. Weird, wild stuff.
I have to lean in to see mine, but it looks like there's a 4.
There's a 4. Okay. All right. Did you accomplish the task at hand?
Let me see.
Photo. It's still not there.
No, but a bunch of people are liking my photo on my page.
Weird.
Hold on.
Weird. It's on your page? It's on the
Yeah.
Mike Michaels page?
Yeah. Why don't you grab it and put it on there? Because
Okay,
you
hold
seem
on.
to be more technically savvy than yours truly. I am not a Facebooker, ladies and gentlemen, so don't think that I'm being a snob or anything. I will do the best I can with the legions of fans that we hope will crash our Facebook page. That's why I've begged him to do it, because
Legions.
he has a nice
Legion.
group of followers. He's used to doing all this kind of stuff.
Legion of fans.
I did all the
Legion
behind the
of
scenes,
fans.
getting it
Mike
to the
Michaels.
internet, getting
What?
us a studio set up, finding the right equipment. That was my job.
Right on. You did. You did a good job too, because now we have all the same equipment. Friends.
Thank you.
Where's my friends at, man? Hello.
And you sound fantastic now that you're closer to the microphone.
You know, I tried to sound fantastic. Oh, there it is. You put that there. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. Now I know what you're talking about. Okay, now okay. That is the mic stand. Fucking A, dude.
See?
Right on.
Told you. Stuck out like a sore thumb. I've only looked at that photo about
awesome.
9,000 times in my life.
Stuck out like a sore thumb. I will put that on our page right now. The Chris and Mike Show.
There you go, buddy.
So, boys and girls, this is what we were talking about. Come on.
Now I'm going to have to go to my page and say, I did not mean to post the same photo you've seen 500 times since we started the podcast.
No,
it was supposed to go on. Whatever.
It's okay.
Everybody started liking it, so thank you very much. Appreciate it. I missed those days.
On stage at the Mason. Yep. I'm typing right now. That's why I'm silent.
Yeah, so once again, if you are a fascinating Austria listener, go to the Chris and Mike Show on Facebook and drop us a line. You don't have to come on the podcast. Just say, hey, I think it's totally cool that you found us and that you keep listening. So we'd love to give you a shout out or something. You're more than welcome on the podcast, unless you're shy. I was shy too, but here I am.
Right?
I was very unsure if I was going to be able to do this. I just wanted to do it. So you dive in, sink or swim.
You know, what doesn't kill you scares the fuck out of you.
Right. And I don't like to be scared.
I changed it up.
Here we are.
I changed it up. So I'm hoping I tagged the right Neil Sands, because Neil Sands is the one that made it. Which small world, Neil's. Oh, it didn't let me tag him. We played at your place in Glendale, for years, rehearsed, right?
Yeah.
After we stopped playing at Scott's.
Correct.
And we then. Neil was a former drummer of mine from one of the bands I was in called Andalusian Dog. And he was an art major at ASU. And his grandfather owned Sands Chevrolet.
Okay.
Which in Arizona is a big car dealership.
Huge.
So Manistee Ranch, which was 51st Avenue Northern, I believe, was the ranch that his family owned, is now a subdivision, like all ranches turn into subdivisions. But the last time I drove by there, the house was still standing, and the community is called Manistee Ranch. So I actually played in that house in the basement during the time in Andalusian Dog, which is before Nemesis, I believe. That was before Nemesis. Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool place to jam, man. We had this thing we called the angry chair. Like, kid you not, dude, imagine just a wooden chair, right? A normal wooden chair.
Okay.
But replace the wood with antlers from elks. So we called it the angry chair because the whole thing, when you sat in it, you didn't get stabbed at all. But looking at it, was like, fuck, I'm not going to, this is going to like destroy me if I get up the wrong way because of all the antlers and shit. It was badass. It was truly...
That's awesome.
One of the coolest chairs ever. Oh, I'm wearing a Nemesis t-shirt in that picture too.
Yes, you are.
On my chest, that says Nemesis right there. And
yeah,
so
that's why I said we played a bunch of gigs before we ever played at the Jar. We played at the Ballroom. We played at a bunch of places in Mesa and Tempe. I think that the jar was probably maybe a year and a half before we actually got a gig there. Because I kept going down there and bugging those guys. That wasn't the
Probably.
easiest place to get a gig at. I
No,
buddied up with.
it was legit. One of the
It was legit. I buddied
Go
up
ahead.
with
You butted
Jason
up with what?
and
Yeah.
gave him a demo. You know, back then you had to have a cassette demo.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't even
Yep.
CDs at that point. So he listened
Nope.
to it, he liked it, and that's how we got in there. So
Yeah, it's kind of a drag you don't have any of those laying around.
well, that would be nice. They're laying around somewhere.
Yeah. So
Where
on
they're at.
Instagram, yeah, on Instagram, you're not on Instagram, are you?
I have a personal Instagram page, yeah.
Okay. So Carrie chimed in on one of my Instagram posts.
Carrie Bays.
And so I told her, yeah. So I told her we're doing a podcast, and you find us in all the places.
What is your Instagram page? I'm not friends with you there.
Chris. Oh, hold on.
Okay.
I thought you were. I'll type it in the chat box. Chat. It's Chris _ Dunham _.
Okay. I'm bad about being friends
That's why I
with
guess I
people
should
that
have
I'm
said
friends with
Instagram.
in real life, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I tend to like to talk to my actual friends. I'm not one of these texters, or if you hold that kind of level of friendship in my heart and soul, I want to hear your voice and talk to you. And I'm not into the too much can be misinterpreted when you're texting, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just not as personal. I've known you since I was 21 years old, 20. I might not have even been 21. Like, of course I want to talk to you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so we have 15 followers. We need to reach 100 followers to gain access to insights and demographic data.
100?
Got to figure out how to add you as we got to get to 100 list followers in order to kind of open up some of the really cool plugins and shit. But I'm trying to figure out how I add you, because I know I can add you as, you know, an admin to it. It's not just, you know, I just don't know how to do that. It's just not working.
See,
Don't know how to do
so
it.
is there a platform where we have options to go live? So, like right now, you're having a problem, and if people were listening, they may be able to chime in and solve your problem that they were watching live. I know you don't want to do it on Facebook. Is Twitch an option?
Right. I've heard of Twitch, but I don't know what Twitch is.
Well, let me do some research. I don't know how any.
See what I'm doing there?
I've just
I'm
heard
twitching,
of it,
man.
man. I don't know how it works. There used to be
The
a
only reason
platform.
I heard of it, I was building something. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
There used to be a platform called Ustream, and I don't think it exists anymore, but Twitch is similar to Ustream, where you can just live stream your content for free. Is basically all they're doing. Is just like we're using a studio right now that's providing us a platform to do a remote podcast. They're providing you with a platform to do a live podcast for free. I'll look into how it works and if it's worth it. But I think if people knew that we were on here Tuesday afternoon, see, they don't listen to it till Sunday, Monday, Tuesday the next week. This is Tuesday afternoon for everybody that's listening. If they knew we were doing that,
it is Tuesday afternoon.
They could log on and listen if they so chose.
Right.
We just need to find a platform that works for us that will work for everybody else, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Settings. Post live event. Go to the page, log on. I did that. Click settings at the top of my page. I did that. Click
So
page roles in the left column. I don't see page roles in the left column.
I just thought of a story that relates to
Settings.
that photo as well. If that's the
Oh,
first time that we played at the Mason Jar, I actually had to track down Franco to get our money at his condo.
no.
And
That's not surprising.
for everybody that is listening that would not know Franco, which is everybody, he was about 5'3", and he had kind of crazy, long, scraggly hair, and he was 150,000,000% Italian, and he wore clogs always. The dude
Did he
was
really?
just, oh yeah,
Wow.
the dude was just crazy. But come to find out, he was connected, and I didn't know that. I just knew he owed us $200.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Franco was very connected. So here's 21, 22-year-old little Mike pounding on his door, and a dude about 6'6", 315 answered the door. What do you want? I said, I need to talk to Franco. He owes my band $200. And he just slammed the door. Right. So I stood there for, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds, and I was just getting ready to turn around and leave. And the door opens again, and he says, okay. He says he'll see you. So I went in there, and he says, what band? I said, Nemesis. How much do I owe you? $200. I apologize. It'll never happen again. So he gave me the $200, and I walked out of there, and I felt like king shit, you know. So we go to play the next gig, and I'm telling Maverick this story, Bouncer Maverick, you know.
Right.
And his guy's got about as big around as $50, and he's like, dude, don't ever go to his house again asking for money. He's like, I'm surprised you didn't get the shit kicked out of you or get killed. He's like, you know, Franco's connected, right? He's like, this place is like a money laundering operation. Which is totally what the Mason Jar was. How did you know
where Franco lived, man?
I asked.
Right. So how did you know where Franco lived?
I asked Jason Rainey because Jason worked for the Mason Jar. Okay. He was their permanent, you know, front of house sound man.
Right.
Yeah. Right. He told me where he lived. And I don't.
That's awesome.
Who knows if I told him why? You know, I think maybe I just say, hey, do you know where Franco lives? And that might have been the extent of the conversation. Had I told him I was going down there to collect money, he might have advised me otherwise, you know. But I know he was the one that I asked, because when I told Maverick the story, he flipped out. He was like, dude, don't ever do that again. I can't believe you didn't get the shit kicked out of you or end up in a mine shaft out in the middle of the desert, you know.
That's
I said, well, awesome. I asked nicely.
So squirrel. Squirrel. Squirrel moment. When you go back to Facebook, you know how you get notifications?
Yes.
And that little thing on the bottom, little notification thing, like a bell. Okay. You're going to have an invitation to help manage said page.
I will help you the best I can, brother.
The Facebook page of the Chris and Mike Show. Well, you can put stuff on reels. You can put stuff on stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You can do all kinds of fun stuff.
So now, you know, for everybody that is a subscriber and a weekly listener, I will be putting up little previews Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, somewhere in there. I'll drop little Easter eggs, I like to call them. And you'll get to see previews of the upcoming episode instead of having to wait Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I know it's a pain. It's a pain for me too.
I know. That's good. So it says we have 16 followers, but it won't let me look at all the followers, which is weird.
Well.
Oh, you know.
We'll have to play with it.
We'll just watch it grow.
Yes, we are starting a community of wonderful, positive, like-minded individuals who like to have a good time. Everybody needs to get along.
Yeah.
We're trying to lead by example. You don't see us fighting and arguing. There's no need for all that. If you disagree with us, that's fine. People disagree with me all the time. I'm
Yep.
100% used to that because I do not think like everybody else, and I understand that, and I try and respect that of people. So we're open to opinions. That's why we're here. It'll give us other things to talk about. So
We are. Agreed. Yeah. Life's too short to be a dick.
yeah, well, and once again, if you ever had to sit in a room with four big egos who are trying to put a song together, and everybody needs to remain calm because everybody thinks they're the best, but you realize that you need the other three people to do what you're trying to accomplish, it puts everybody in check. That is an exercise
Yep.
in
Agreed. And
humility
we
that
didn't have
everybody needs.
exactly.
Not to the level that Jake did in the
And
United States Marine
the
Corps, but we policed ourselves pretty well.
right, right. Oh yeah. Well, and the nice thing too is we didn't. I mean, we had egos because you have to have an ego being a musician because you're going and you're putting something that you put your heart and soul into creating and
Yes.
standing in front of 5 people or 5,000 people depending on the night and the show, and you're putting your soul out there, especially from my standpoint, like you mentioned earlier, like if they don't get through me, they're not going to get to you guys, so they're not going to hear the whole thing. No pressure. So
None.
when the vulnerability that singers have to have, and it has to have an ego with it, because if you don't own your craft and if you don't own your space and you don't have that presence, like I was told by an actor that I so respected, that I had an amazing stage presence, and at the time it didn't register to me what that meant because I was still in the beginning stages of acting and I hadn't got into the music part of it yet. But then years later, when I heard that comment again, and then I was wise enough to kind of circle back to that the second time I heard it and ask, what do you mean by that? And how they explained it was, you own the space when you're on the stage. It's like you own it. The ego's there because it has to be there because of what you're doing and what you're projecting. And I was like, wow, that's fucking legit.
Projecting is the
So,
right word.
so I never,
You to
right.
the
So
audience,
I never looked at us.
you look like you're bigger. You are bigger than you are, and it's not visually bigger. It's a feeling. It's like, wow, man,
Right.
this guy really,
Right.
he's trying to tell me something, and I'm digging what he's doing. And
Mm-hmm.
or the flip side of that is, if we used to have long intros to our music a lot before Chris came out or before he would start singing. That's even more pressure. So now if we got a good riff and a good groove going and the whole crowd is into that music, now he has even more pressure because everybody in that crowd's thinking, this guy better not fucking suck. If there's a minute and a half
Yeah.
intro to a
No,
song,
but it's true.
that's what everybody's
Mm-hmm.
thinking because we just gave them time to get into the music, and now you have to deliver even more so because they're into that. They're thinking, wow, man, this message better
Mm-hmm.
be good and his voice better not suck.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And that's the thing. So I never approached it. I never thought that any of us had egos
No,
in the context of how we wrote songs and how we wrote music together and how we unified ourselves as a unit of four musicians
not
that came
towards
from
each other.
completely
No,
different backgrounds. Exactly. So that to me is rare because I've been in enough bands, unfortunately, that
it's so
that
rare.
I
It's
never
the only
had that.
time it's ever happened for me.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. See, me too. I've never had that with any other band aside from Nemesis. Like never. And I think it was because we were so naive because we were so young that we were so focused on creating really cool music that people kept coming back to listen to and people kept enjoying, that we never took it for granted until it was no longer. And then it's like, fuck,
Correct.
fuck. That was it. That was one of those moments in our lifetime. That was like one of those, um, you know, everybody has those moments in life where it's this is the time of your life and you don't realize it while you're living it. It's something you look back on years later and realize, oh shit, that was one of those moments that if you could get it back, I would get it back. You know what I mean? It would never have ended.
It's funny to think that we were smart enough to know that we needed each other, but not smart enough to protect it at all costs, you know?
Agreed. Yeah.
The
totally
naive part came out in that one member of the unit was not willing to wait. You know, I don't know. I don't think we ever gave you that option, and I don't know if you ever gave us that option, but that should have been an option. You know, is just to wait. We could have wrote songs for 6 months. You know,
yeah.
Scott and I could play for 10 hours straight and never get bored.
Back on it now. Right, and that's that thing. Looking back on it now, but that's looking back on it now. You know what I mean? And it's just because I didn't know some of the stuff that we've talked about regarding the band at all because I just didn't know it. Which I think is a good thing because if I would have known that development deal was in the works, it may have changed how I approach things. I would have tried instead of just going out there and doing.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
No, I know what you're saying.
You know.
And I just verified that because
it is, you know.
The one thing that got saved is I have a leather bag here full of stuff from Nemesis.
Yeah.
It looks like that.
Show and tell time, boys and girls. Yeah.
And I forgot we used to do a monthly newsletter that we mailed out to people with stamps, kids. There are these things that you used to have to put on an envelope and you had to drop it in a blue box. It was monitored by the U.S. Postal Service. And every day a guy would come around and he would pick it up out of there. It was fascinating. And then it would go to all our fans, and we had a lot of fans. So I don't know how we afforded postage. How did we afford postage? Because we didn't have shit, man. We were broke. Those are stamps, kids. Chris just showed you an example of stamps right here on the podcast.
And the irony, back then, every now and then you'd hear of a postal worker going postal. You don't hear that anymore.
No, they must have lessened their working conditions. Maybe we could have a postman on the
Amazon.
podcast. Because I actually know a postman. Right. He lives right around the corner from me. I went to high school with him.
Right on.
So anyway, in that newsletter,
Mr. Postman,
it said that, and I had forgotten this part. So we played a gig, and it might have been the last show that you played with us or near the last show you played. Mm-hmm. That night, that guy was in the crowd. So he approached Scott and I think it was the last show you played because I'm pretty sure that there were bad feelings that night, and I think you bailed, and this guy came up and talked to us, and he was there to see us specifically. He wasn't there before we
called me. Hey,
I know.
Hey, dude.
He wasn't there before any of the other bands played, and he didn't stick around. He left right after he talked to Scott and I. He gave us his card. He lived in Paradise Valley. He says, please come to my house. I'm building a studio. Right. I used to run sound for Queensryche. I work for Elektra Records or EMI, I think Queensryche was signed to at the time. I can't remember.
EMI.
Anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
He worked for that label. He was trying to get into producing. He loved our whole package, you know. I mean, we had the look, we had the sound, we had the presentation. For, you know, somehow our name got all the way to him. And I just verified it. You know, I didn't dream that story up. I just read it. So.
Yeah. Right. Well, and
I had forgotten he was there to just see us.
You know. Oh, right on.
No, go ahead with your thought.
Back then, everything was word of mouth. Well, that's what I'm saying. Back then, everything was word of mouth. It wasn't. You didn't have the internet, really. I think.
No, the internet was fucking useless back then.
Back then, but you didn't. Right. So everything was word of mouth. So, you know, maybe the fact that she showed up at Franco's house and knocked on his door, he's like, well, fuck, this guy's got some, you know, balls of a freaking, you know, giant, you know, but that had to be some element of respect. This guy had no fear and came knocking on my door. Whether he knew who I was or not is irrelevant. The guy's, yeah.
in that same folder is a letter that I will take a picture of and put on the Chris and Mike show at facebook.com that was given to us. You were there that night because I think we got that letter that night. And basically it says that the Mason Jar has served as a venue for such notable national acts as everybody that we named at the beginning of the podcast. And we would we would be honored or something like that if you would use something to the effect of we could use the Mason Jar as a what do you call it when you're on somebody's resume? God damn, I'm drawing a blank. You can use me as a reference. Thank you. Jeez. Holy moly. Sorry, people. Yeah. My brain just stopped working for about 2 seconds there. So, yeah, they basically said your band is more than welcome to use the Mason Jar name as a reference. And they would vouch for us as being a band that could draw people in and make money. So, yeah, you're probably right. That's probably where that guy got that information from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. This is our longest show to date, by the way. I think we've been going since about 2:30, and it's 3:51.
Yeah, that's all good, man. It's all good.
That's a long time.
You have no idea. I've listened to 4-hour podcasts.
Really?
Yeah, usually there's 2 other people involved in those 4-hour podcasts.
Well, that's the nice thing. It's just, normally like Nikki asked me what this is about. I said, we just talk.
Yeah. But we're going to have conversations on a civil level about subjects just like last week. I'm surprised I didn't get a whole bunch of backlash about bashing religion, but I didn't.
Well, we didn't bash religion. We didn't bash religion though. Think about it. We talked about we talked about how Jesus was pissed off at his father walking through the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. Was it 40 days and 40 nights through the desert? So. Or was that the flood? I don't. Yeah, but how he was.
Oh,
pissed
that might
off,
have been
that's
the flood.
how the swear.
We don't even know.
Yeah, but that's how the swearing began. Because nobody's going to be like, oh shoot, Dad. Do I really have to walk all this way for this amount of time in this barren wasteland of desert? No, listen to last week's show and you'll hear our insight on how certain adverbs, is it an adverb or an adjective?
It would be an adjective.
Adjectives were formed by the Son of God, and then so yeah, you got to listen to that show. I'm not gonna go back down that path. You have to go back and listen.
It's all entertainment, folks.
Did you put a picture of Jesus on? The Jesus picture up,
I did not.
That would have been funny.
I leave myself open.
Because that could have opened a whole new can of listeners, man. We could have got a whole bunch of Christian Bible possibilities. And your internet just went out because your screen went black.
What?
Yep, your screen went black, so you're having internet issues.
I'm still here.
Black screen.
And I still hear you.
Black screen. I can still hear you. I just can't see you. You're just black.
Oh, don't look at me.
It's like Spinal Tap's album. Smell the Glove. It was just black.
None more black.
Right? And then that band Metallica stole the idea.
Yes, whose idea was it to make the album black?
Spinal Tap, man.
Remember that in a year and a half.
You know what we got to do? I thought about this. We need to do it. Yeah. I thought about this. We need to do top 11 lists, not top 10, because we're musicians. You turn it up to 11.
Okay.
So I'm going to start drawing up the top 11 list of the show, and I'll send you a copy before the next show, so we can we can bounce off 1, 2. We start at 11 and go down to number 1, but we'll So
I'm down.
I'm gonna do that. I'm down, man. Right on.
I'll play along.
So let's leave it at that.
All right, brother.
I know you will. You have no choice.
Is my screen still black?
Hey, it was good talking to you today, Mike Michaels. No, it's not black now. Now you're just fuzzy. You're a fuzzy man. Fuzzy.
I'm fuzzy, all right.
We also need to decide And we do a show in March. We got to talk like we got to have accents like we're from Ireland or from Scotland. You know, the entire show talk with a Cockney accent or something like that. So people are like, are these people from another country?
I'll
Or are
let
they
you
from
do an
America?
accent, and I'll laugh at
And
you
it's for,
because I can't do
and
accents.
and then they don't realize that it's not really an accent. It's just, we're from the other side of the world. I'm just doing a podcast with this guy who has the same last name as it is his first name. Like, what was your mother thinking, Michael Michaels? Like, let's get her on the phone sometime. Michael Michaels, why did you do that? Not
Well,
David Michaels or Skip Michaels or Terrence Michaels.
she could answer
What's
that.
the reasoning behind double named, double entendre?
She could answer that pretty.
It's a
pretty
double
quickly.
entendre.
We'll have her on here. She can answer it.
Well, of course she could. She's your mom.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to behave myself if your mom's on the show. Just saying.
No, I don't think she expects you to behave yourself.
I gotta be me.
Who are you?
I gotta be free.
Until next week, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, boys and girls.
Everybody be kind to each other.
This is the guy that works out a lot with the guitar guy. We are the Chris and Mike Show. Yeah, be kind. Be kind. And find us on Facebook. Go to Facebook and type in just Chris and Mike Show. Not just type in Chris and Mike Show. And you will see our little logo-ish cartoony caricature thing with me and him back to back. I'm smiling in a black suit and he's got a guitar and we're both bald in the picture.
And a black t-shirt.
Which was a stretch. I told the artist, I told the artist to just take all our hair away, so
we don't have any hair.
Could, really kind of connect with us. We have hair. We just choose not to grow it. We're not follically challenged by any way, shape, or form.
I am.
It's just, it's a lifestyle choice that I personally made in 1993.
You did.
You finally followed suit in 2010 or something.
9.
And, here we sit. So again, shout out to my buddy Jake / Todd Smith and his surgery. Get well, my friend.
Yes. Positive vibes, Todd.
Anybody else out there's going, yeah. And it is that silly time of year. So, if you're out there and you're depressed and, woe is me stuff going on, reach out to somebody. Depression's a real thing. Kids, don't hide in your room under your covers, talk to somebody. There's always a better day tomorrow.
Go to Chris and Mike Show and drop us a message. We'll talk to you. I don't want anybody to fall out on us.
Yes. And and follow us, like us and follow us, because that helps our world go round and it'll help us grow it'll help grow Mike's dream of having a successful podcast in which we get sponsors and ads.
Yes.
And so we can say, coming to you live from the Weefix Ugly Pool studio from right, exactly. So, there you go.
Until next week,
all right,
ladies and gentlemen.
As always.
Everybody be kind. Peace. Thank you, my brother.
Absolutely. See you guys later. Oh, shit. What did I just do? I hit a button. There I am. Hey, I'm back now. Okay. Peace out.